Hello, Viking. Looking great. How's things in Valhalla?
Hot, very hot. I'm sweating with my fur here. It's too hot. Yeah.
Well, the last couple of maybe 3 days in Chicago, we had 41 degrees.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, we don't have but it's Celsius or is it Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
Oh, Celsius. Oh my God. We have 32 in Valhalla.
Well,
Let's
let's move to Valhalla. But no, we have to die in order to go to Valhalla. So,
Yeah, so it's better to stay at 41 degrees
yes,
Celsius.
yes, let's do that. Let's do that. Um, how were the first shows, summer shows that you did with Workings?
Hot, very hot. Really, really, really very hot. The last two shows, no, the last three shows were like really, really hot. Especially we played a castle in Germany, and it was like around, I don't know, 6 p.m. and it was, really like the sun was burning down, blistering heat, only sand, and but it was great. I mean, the people were, it was a big party, but it was freaking hot.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if you guys can think about changing your outlook, your uh,
That's the problem.
well, I have nothing. Sorry. um, let's talk about the new album. So, looking at the album titles, you've kind of established a tradition of having a single word album titles. Was
Yes.
this intentional?
Yeah, that's intentional. Yeah, we're like, yeah, we just love that. We want something recognizable, something, you can remember, maybe even if you're drunk as hell, that you can remember the album title. So, yeah, it started with Reborn, and then, on the first three albums, we also had the intention to always have titles with R and E. So it was Reborn, Revenge, Revolution. And yeah, but it's intentional. We want to keep it like one word title.
Okay, so that makes picking Armageddon kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. It really is like that. We always talk about there is no concept. It's not a concept album what we do, but there's like a little bit of a theme that goes through all the songs.
Mhm.
And so yeah, Armageddon was like a no-brainer. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got to tell me what is the theme because I can see battles, I can see conquerors like Genghis Khan. Go on.
Yeah, we had the idea to write about events in history that changed the outcome of the world at that time. Like, for instance, Armageddon is about the Viking raid on the monastery of Lindisfarne. And, history says that was the start of the Viking Age.
Mhm.
We have a song called Hangman's Night. It's about when the French king arrested all the knights of the Order of the Templar, and he destroyed the Order of the Templar at that time. That changed, the world at this time. We have a song called Nightfall, which is about the battle between King Darius the Third and Alexander the Great. And Alexander the Great was outnumbered and was he was the winner on this battle, and that was the end of the Persian Empire at that time. And also, I mean, Genghis Khan, he like at his time he conquered like big parts of the world, and he killed so many people that he also, that he, I don't know, a couple of percent of the world population at that time. And for people involved in these events, like the monks, like the people who got conquered with Genghis Khan, it was kind of Armageddon. It was kind of like the end of the world. If you read history, history is written by winners. So
Mhm.
it's all like glorious conquerors and stuff. But we said there's also, people who died, people got arrested, whatever, and their world ended. So that's why we chose Armageddon. And then, when you look at the events in the last years, you think like Armageddon is not so far away.
Yes, unfortunately I will agree to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it mainly the theme was to write about, you know history changing events that wasn't always like, they weren't always like glorious and great and whatever. And so this is like the theme that goes through a lot of the songs, not all, but a lot of the songs.
Yeah. And it's interesting, as you said, that history is written by winners, that the common thing between all these things is that the simple people die.
Exactly.
No matter the side they are.
Yeah.
Right?
And it and that's but with all the fun we have and all, we sing about glorious battles and warriors and all that stuff. This is like the one serious thing that we always say, in the end, you die in battle, and the end of the war is always somebody dies, and
Yeah,
that's not good.
absolutely. So how did you pick the cover artwork? What did you first? Who did the cover artwork?
Yeah, I have to go a little bit back. The first four albums were made by a Hungarian artist called Gyula.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pronounce his last name. It's Havanchuk, I believe. Yeah, but he made the first four, and because we changed some stuff musically with the recording process and all this stuff, we were looking for someone different this time. Also, make it like a little bit more serious, in all the power metal silliness you have. So again, we found an Hungarian artist called Peter Salai, and he made the cover. He also does the cover for cover artworks for Sabaton and all that stuff. So he made this fantastic cover, and as we had the title Armageddon, and the song Armageddon is about the Vikings raid on Lindisfarne. So this is like kind of the cover, like the kind of a Viking reaper, and you see some monks and Viking ships, and it's kind of like a good interpretation of the title.
Well, it looks like you now that I
Of
look.
course, I was there.
Oh my goodness. I like that you mentioned in all the, you said silliness, right, with power metal. And I hope people understand that, because sometimes in power metal, particularly, we take too serious of ourselves, right?
Yeah, and with Walkings, it's exactly that. It's exactly that. I mean, it's everything is over the top, obviously. Like, yeah, look at me. Uh, but and we take it serious, but we take it serious in a way of how we record the music, how we write the song, how we play it. We don't want to be clowns, and we don't want to make nonsense. But you know, uh, there is this kind of like, it's not serious, come on. I mean, like, you know what I mean? And I think if you can listen to the music and with this in mind, then it really makes fun. Like everything is over the top. It's like a totally ridiculous over the top Hollywood movie. And that's for me the essence.
Well, are Hollywood movies ridiculous? Well, yes, they are.
Somehow, yes.
Yeah. So you mentioned the production. Did you have Felix doing the production?
Yeah, the first four albums were done by a guy called Eike Frese from Hamburg. He does a lot of stuff in Germany. He produced all of the Lost and that stuff. And actually, after the last album, he was the guy that suggested, man, you want to change the producer? You made four albums with me. Not to repeat yourself, blah blah blah. To be in the same circle again. So we met Felix, and yeah, he became a producer of the new album, and yeah, he was like with us together. He is the mastermind of Armageddon. He contributed a lot of ideas to all the songs. So we kind
Oh,
of like we kind of like made the album with him, which was new for us. Because the first four albums that was only written by the Warkings and by nobody else. And this time it was Felix bringing ideas, and we invited other songwriters, friends, other musicians to write songs with us. So yeah, so it was very different. And Felix was like, he was the main person with us to make this album.
and I guess this is why we have Dominum doing.
Yeah. I mean, this is Dr. Dad. Come on. I mean, yeah, it was also it was a little bit obvious. We had this song, and kind of like when you write songs, you do demos. You do the demos. Everybody has his own small home recording studios. We do demos, and so actually, Hangman's Night, the song where Felix is on, was written by our old producer, and he wrote the song with us
Okay.
uh, for the album. And then Felix had an idea, and he had an idea, and he sang the melody, and then we heard it, and we were like, "Hey, why don't you sing on that song? That sounds great." And so, yeah, there he is.
So he brought Dr. Dead. Okay.
Yeah, he brought Dr. So he went to the other room. He came back as Dr. Dad.
And you had also Orden Ogan in
Yes.
Gegenskhan. So what was their input? Because you mentioned that you brought other songwriters. So did they contribute to that?
No, we had friends writing songs with us, but with Arden Ogan, especially with Seb, the singer, it was just like we met so many times on festivals and tours and shows and whatever. And yeah, we thought about we just asked him. We're like, hey, you want to sing a song with us? And we showed him Genghis Khan, and he said, yeah, that's it. So he he's just a guest. He didn't contribute to the songwriting, but he brought his great voice and appearance. So we really love it.
And after we mentioned the production, so mixing and mastering was Jacob Hansen who did that?
Jacob, yeah, yeah. Also recorded some parts of the drums at Jacob's studio, and then yeah, we because Felix often works with him together, and I mean he made great bands, great albums, and so we wanted to make it a little bit new and fresh, like the last albums. So we went to him, and yeah, we love it. It's like we wanted it big, and he made it big.
Speaking of new, you have Morgana joining. Was she a guest in the previous, or I'm not sure. When did she join the band?
Yeah, yeah, with the we always had, like, let's go back. We had always guests doing one or two songs with Grolls. On the first two albums, all on the first three albums. So with Morgana, with the album Morgana, we wanted to explore that a little bit more. So we wrote a couple of songs, with Grolls.
Mm-hmm.
But then we met her, and everything fit. The album was called Morgana, and it was at that time ex to be honest, we didn't really know if she was a guest or a band member. She was just there. She recorded the album with us, and then we went on tour, and she went with us because we said, yeah, we play these songs, so you have to come with us. And during the last 3 years, she became a band member because she toured with us. She was there with every concert, and she contributed a lot to the band. And with the new album, we also explored her clean singing voice, her rock voice, whatever you may call it. And she has such an extraordinary voice. Yeah, and yeah, now she's a band member. Now she is like we have four kings and a witch. So,
So you need to change the title of the name of the band now.
no. No, no, it's Walkings, and yeah, no, that would be silly, like play Walkings and the Witch. No, it's Walking. It's just like that. I think often band names lose, you know, you know, with time, band names lose their meaning. I mean, come on, Metallica, and what's the meaning? So no, nobody asked for the meaning of that. So it's just the name of the band.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
yeah,
I'm joking, of course, right?
yeah.
What's happening in Morgana's incantation? This is not an actual incantation, I assume, right?
Yeah, it's how you call it?
At Sai?
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's a spell written by her, uh, to make you fall in love with her.
Oh, okay.
It's like the rest. No, no, it's not a spell. It's the recipe to make a love potion.
Okay.
Fall
Okay.
in love with Morgana. So it's if you listen to it or read the lyrics and try to cook it, then maybe someone falls in love with you.
Has anyone tried?
No, because it's hard to get what is it? Eyes of a bat or a crow, something like that. It's hard to get.
Yeah, let's not do. Um,
Yeah,
however, and you said Morgana brought her growling vocals, and I'm guessing that in Circle of Witches, this is what we hear, right? She's doing all the.
yeah,
Uh,
she's doing all the vocals. Yeah, there's a small part at the end of the song where the Tribune is singing, because the song is about the witch hunts that took place a couple hundred years ago in Europe, where a lot of, and there we are with Armageddon and that stuff, where a lot of innocent people, mostly women, got accused of witchcraft and whatever. And so this song is about that, but it's her song. That's called Circle of the Witches. It's her song. It's all the vocals except for a small part at the end is Morgana. All the growling, all the clean voices, everything.
Perfect. So, at what point in the song making process do you bring the lyrics? I mean, how much research do you do, to pick the themes to write lyrics for?
Um, at very much at the end, very much at the end. So we have this, we have sometimes we have a riff, sometimes we have a melody or a rhythm part, when where you create the song form, and then as the song evolves, um, it's like uh, most of the time it's like, hey, that for us, like for a musician, it's like, okay, that sounds like we can write about that, and as soon as we know the theme, then we also try to maybe twitch a little stuff musically to make it more in that direction. But it's mostly coming when the song is written, and we have some, and then writing lyrics about some stuff, and if you research it and you want to know more about it, you you find other ideas. When we did a little research about the monastery of Lindisfarne and the Viking raid, we found the Varangian Guard, the Varangoi. That's also a song on the record, and that's where like Vikings, Northmen, who were the bodyguards for the kings and queens of the Empire of Byzance, and they especially hired Northmen. And so that was the idea to the next song. So, but it's mostly, like during the writing of the song.
Is it true that the Varangoi were converted to Christianism?
I think that some of them, I think that was a huge part, with the Vikings when the Vikings went to what's nowadays England, and they came in contact with the Christian religion, that some of them started to convert. But I don't honestly, I can't say if that was if you have to be a Christian to be a Varangian guard. That I don't know.
Well, it's bizarre to have Vikings, Christian Vikings. It sounds
Yeah,
bizarre even when I
that's
say that, right?
yeah, these words don't go together.
There you go. There you go. What is Here Comes the Rain about? Because that's kind of a ballad, right?
Yeah, well, it's if you ask our guitar player, it's a fucking ballad. You
Okay.
know,
I stand corrected.
it's a ballad. Yeah, this is like, it's like an ode to two old warriors, two old war veterans, who had a lifetime spent on battlefields and fighting and everything, and they got old. They know their time has come, and they've been like, they had this brotherhood of warriors for their, together their whole life, and they know they're dying, and so they want to ride into battle together one last time, and that's the song is about. It's like, okay, we know this is the end, and we want to go out with a bang, and we want to do it together, and that's Here Comes the Rain.
What a strange theme to write a ballad about, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see the rain, let's see the sunshine, and let's go to battle and die.
Yeah,
um, you have included Stall. I hope I didn't butcher that. This is the same version that they have in Subway to Sally's album.
yeah, because we went on tour with Subway to Sally in Germany last December, And
Okay.
this is like Subway to have this tradition. They do a special tour every December for 15 years now,
Mm.
and they invite bands they are friends with. So they invited us for their last tour 2024, and during the preparation of the tour, the idea came up. Let's do how about write a song together? So we sit and they were just at the moment they were just also recording their last album. So we sit together in the studio and we wrote this song and we recorded this song together. So it's some parts is from Walking, some parts is from Subway to Sally, and then we decided, and it came out good. We loved it, and we made a video, and we decided both bands will release it on the album. That's why it because it was already released on their album, so it's like a bonus track on our album.
It's interesting that in that music video, nobody won at the end.
Yeah, yeah. See, see.
Okay. So you mentioned touring. You have rather booked 2025. Rest of the 25, you have more summer festival dates.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated. Um, and then in the beginning of 2026, again, you have Europe until March.
Yeah,
Do you know, or are you actively planning what will happen after that?
yeah. Actually, yeah. We do. We have the Pirates and Kings tour together with Visions of Atlantis
Hmm.
through Europe, and actually we are planning maybe to bring it over to the States and to other parts of the world. And actually, right now the plans are in the making
Oh,
to
really?
to do this. Yeah, but everything is fixed until mid of March next year with the tour dates, and everything else is like having ideas, talking about it, looking around, finding a time schedule for the things. But the next thing we want to do, because we made a lot of plans coming to the US, but then the pandemic hit and everything you planned got canceled. So we definitely want to come over.
Well, yes, and things have become rather challenging with the visas, but I hope you guys.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. But Visions just they just had a US run like
Correct.
a couple of weeks ago, and it went kind of smooth with all that stuff with the visas and also the border crossing between US and Canada. And so yeah, it actually honestly it's just you need more time for the preparation.
Correct. Correct.
When it was 6 months, a couple of years ago, now it's maybe 12 months, so you have to prepare, upfront.
And to make sure I understood, the plans, at least the draft plans right now, is to come with Vision of Atlantis again in
Yeah,
the.
yeah, both. We have plans, or we have whatever. To yeah, both. We had plans to come over only with the Walkings or with another band, and then we presented our booking agents went out with the Pirates and King tour and booked a lot of clubs and venues in Europe. And then there was interest, from other parts in the world to do that. So right now, we're, like I said, we're trying to find a schedule for both bands because the idea of Pirates and Kings is around for 3 years now. But we never found the time spot where both bands are available, and so now we can do it in Europe, and hopefully we find the time and the space to bring it to the US. But I think it
The,
would be cool.
the Vikings came to the US, so you have to
Yeah,
come,
I know.
right?
Yeah,
Last question, and I may be changing a little bit the subject. It's for another band. You may know that. Anything, the latest from Watch Me Bleed?
dude. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, but nothing. No.
So
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Because just, walking takes like most of the time,
yeah,
and yeah. So if you know Watch Me Bleed, then you know that most of the parts of Watch Me Bleed are in walkings, and
I have noticed that. Yes.
yeah. So yeah, maybe there will be some time we find we still love the music, but actually you are the first guy in I don't know like 7 years asking me about that band. That's awesome. I will not forget that, man.
Well, let's not forget What We Bleed at least. Let's agree on that, right?
Thank you, man.
Perfect, perfect. Viking, was such a pleasure to have you. I hope you will join the Vision of Atlantis Armada,
Yeah.
right? And invade Chicago. How about that?
Yeah. That sounds good. And then we have a beer together or whatever drink you like.
Absolutely, absolutely. Stay safe, and as I said, stay hydrated, man.
Yeah, you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.